Hello, hello. Welcome to the first edition of the Chaptain's Corner podcast. I am your host, Matthew Harris. Here beside me is my co-host, Kane Chapman Kenny. How are we, mate?
And I'm pretty nervous, but also very excited to get this going. How about yourself?
Oh, I couldn't agree more. Nerves are up there. This isn't the third take, I swear. Anyways, quick disclaimer. This isn't going to be a professional podcast. This is just going to be two bros having a chat about the footy, let you guys in on the action, let you guys pick our brains. Um, I will tell you a bit about what we got in store tonight. We have a quick review of the previous round. We have team of the week, along with a fantasy team of the week. Starting from next week, we're actually going to have Dustin Richards on the show. He runs the fantasy league. He will be really good to pick his brain. I am screwing this up, I swear. Anyways, we will move on. We have our own little segment called Champ and Chump, where we talk about who we thought was the best player and who we thought had a shocker. After that, we'll go into a review, not a review, a preview of next round. We'll read out the team list, we'll give our thoughts, and then after that, we'll go into a bit of a Q&A as well to round out the show. Anyway, should we get stuck into things, Kane? Or is there anything you would like to add?
I would just like to add, congratulations, you got through Champ versus Chump this time.
See, you just screwed up for your first time there, mate, so I'm not the only one. But I will...
Yeah, but this is the third take from your fuck-ups.
I mentioned
Also,
that,
disclaimer, we may swear a little bit, we are just chatting here and there, and we can't help it sometimes. So just a little disclaimer for the younger ones out there.
End of the day, we're Australian, and we're proud of it. Okay.
We like the C word.
See, now you're calling it the C word when we're allowed to say it. We've already made the disclaimer.
We like the cunt word.
There you go, mate. Okay, let's actually be a bit serious now. Let's move into the reviews. Okay, first game we got up. The Storm beating the Broncos 38-12. I didn't expect it to be a blowout like that, but I also did expect the Storm to win. What about you, Kane?
Yeah, I thought it was going to be much closer. I thought it could have went either way. I thought it was going to be 6 points in it. Was very surprised. I actually had the Broncos to win. I thought they'd be a much better team, but Storm just looked really good in their first game. It was just, yeah, masterclass from. I thought Oldfield was amazing for them. I thought MBT for his first game was great. I just
Even
think the
Corey
Broncos just looked in shatters.
One thing I'll bring into it, which was I think a key reason as to why they won, was that bench rotation. When Daniel Punch, Ryan Lawrence came on, they just tore it up through the middle. So like from the first minute to the 80th minute, they had a solid prop on the field. And yeah, they just looked way too strong. I will say one thing that really hindered the Broncos' performance, it had to be their last play options. Their kicking just, it wasn't on tonight, or that night, I should say. I think, what was it, 3 or 4 tries off kick returns? A lot of missed opportunities on the line, you know, ball not going to where it was supposed to go, hitting a foot, hitting a leg. I'm sure Jack Carl will get that sorted. He's the captain, but he's also the person responsible, as he is one of their halves. I expect them to bounce back this week against the Knights. Anything else for that game?
I also agree with a lot of you said, and that the Storm rotation is honestly very scary. I'm not looking forward to facing them. I was honestly hoping they'd come out the gates like the Storm of old from season 1 that couldn't crack a win. But they've come back, and I can honestly say Will Kay has put a masterclass of a team together.
Hey, mate, you don't have to worry about their forward pack. You got me.
I'd back Milo over you.
Okay, Milo's great and all, but come on.
Come on, move on.
I'm here. I'm here right now. He's not here. Anyways, next game we have the Cowboys over the Warriors, 30 points to 16. Honestly, the Cowboys were in second gear all game, but they still won comfortably, which was just, it goes to show how good their team is. Chris Lord, what a beast. I swear it's every second week we see some crazy try he scored, whether it's a 95-meter try or the one he scored on Tuesday night was, I think he made 2 tackle breaks, dragged another player over the line. It was just, no one can tackle him. That 13 on his back in a Cowboys jersey really reminds me of Taumalolo. But what are your thoughts on the game?
I thought Cowboys were exemplary. Warriors just lacked execution. Like, Warriors had 63 possession. They had a better completion rate. They made 5 less errors. But yeah, their attacking finish was just non-existent, really. They need to try to move some players around and figure it out. I think there's maybe 2 people you'd agree would be swapping positions.
Yeah, I'd put Corcoran back at 13.
Yeah,
I
would definitely
he's
would.
just so good there. In return, I'd put probably Rogers on at 11.
Yeah.
The halves pairing, you have to go with Snow White.
You just want to say that for the memes.
No, there's something magical about that halves pairing, I swear.
Shut up.
They're sleeping on it, mate. They're sleeping on it.
Shut up. You made the stupid joke before and I told you not to.
I do it alone. No, but yeah, back onto that game. Yeah, just in second gear, and then just when they needed to, they got the points. They let in, I think, a late one, 78th, 79th minute. Makes the score look a little bit better, but at the end of the day, sadly, was never a contest. I wanted it to be one. But yeah, let's move on. This game was a bit more of a contest. It was the Raiders beating the Eels 18 points to 16. What were your thoughts on that one?
Honestly, I was extremely surprised that there was only 2 points in this. I would have backed the Raiders to put the easy 13 plus on the Eels, but their squad just fought together to keep into the game the whole time. And at one stage, I honestly thought they were going to win. I thought Luke Thompson had a strong performance. I believe the forward McDonald. I thought he was absolutely amazing for him.
Oh, Anthony McDonald.
I thought their center was very solid. I think it's Cody Ogg. Yeah. I thought he was very solid for him. I was actually very impressed with him. But I can honestly say I had Eels pretty low on my list. But after that game, I'm actually excited to see them next round to see how they go. I believe they're up against Storm, which would be a tough game. But I think if Eels can put up against Storm, I think Eels are actually in for a good season. And Raiders, I honestly just expected more from the Raiders, so I thought it was a underwhelming performance from the Raiders.
I'd agree with that. I feel like Raiders are a bit like the Cowboys in a sense, except Cowboys were able to turn it on a bit more. Like Raiders, they still had Luke Thompson, Rahul Kawal, or Rohan, I think. Sorry, I mixed the two up. Rahul's the forward. Rohan and Luke Thompson, they linked up pretty well. They did good. Tim James was just dominant as always scoring tries. I hate it. I wish I could score that many. But one thing I would like to give a special mention to, Rika Manu. His debut at fullback, trying to pick up where Brody Kennedy left off, and he was amazing. He scored 2. I think he got held up twice over the line as well. He very easily could have had 4. So I just want to give a shout out to Rika Manu. What a great debut. You will be a star.
Yeah, he's a star in the making, for sure. I could not agree more. I was very impressed watching him, and I look forward to seeing how his season goes.
We'll move on to the next one now. Knights over the Panthers, 48 to 10. I'll start with this one. I think the Panthers are missing you.
Please. Of course they're missing me.
They don't have that X factor. Like, don't get me wrong, Nathan Fisher is an outstanding player, but
Personally, sorry to interrupt, but I'd actually have Morrison at fullback.
I'd have to agree as well.
Morrison would be my go-to fullback.
But yeah, 48-10. Like, I think it was close for a little bit back and forth for about 10, 15 minutes of the match. But other than that, it was just the Dom Pongston show, the Miko Rashford show. Like,
Rashford, Pongston, oh my goodness.
those two scored 7 of their 8 tries. Just
Yeah,
ridiculous.
it was two young fellas. Pongston at fullback. Like, he bided his time last season. This season, he is just come out blaring. And I'd like to personally say, welcome to the 4 tries in a game squad. It's a very elite list of people in that.
I'll be there soon enough.
And just, honestly, good luck for the rest of the season. I really liked what I seen from the Knights. I thought you were very good all over the park. Panthers, some rearrangement for sure. Maybe I think you need to work on your forward rotation a little bit more. And maybe try Morrison at fullback for sure.
Honestly, I agree. Also, want to give a shout out to Miko Rashford again. He was also on debut and had an outstanding game, scoring a hat trick from the wing. Doesn't happen too often. Anyways, let's move on to the final game of the round. My favourite game, of course. The Manly Warringah Sea Eagles beating the Grubs 24-22. What were your thoughts?
The Rabbitohs. You're in a Roosters fans coming out there.
Nah, I hate him here. I hate him there. I hate him everywhere.
It's a game I knew would come down to the wire. I knew it would be close. It always is with Rabbits. But once again, thank God we got up on them.
I'm sorry to cut you off there, but it's not always close when we verse the Rabbits. This is the first time it's been close since Season 2, Round 1.
Trying to be nice.
You don't have to.
It was a solid game. Both teams very back and forth. I thought Kevin Dixon was absolutely amazing. I thought he was great. I thought Liam Ryan had one of the best games I've seen him have in a while, especially with all of his assists. I thought O'Hare was, I think he was deserving of man of the match. I thought he was very solid for him. Dingo, fast. Probably the reason why we were really in it. Let's be real.
There is 2 houseboats waiting for him.
I thought O'Donnell was very good for us. I actually thought Milo was our man of the match over Dingo, even though Dingo got 2 tries.
I would just come out and say it right now. Milo Kerrigan has picked up where Jesse Bennett left off last season.
And it didn't look too good in those Rabbits colours, did he?
Yeah, besides the colours themselves, like he didn't really get involved, which, even though he was versing us, I always want to see our former players do good. I want to see them flourish at other clubs, but yeah, it wasn't to be tonight. Maybe it is the first time he's really coming up against a defence like ours, which I will say, without trying to sound cocky or anything like that, our goal line defence, it was very good. Like,
it was solid.
All 4 of their tries weren't directly on our defence. We had
3 of them were bombs, weren't they?
3 of them were off bombs. The other one, which I would rather not talk about, was the intercept off the kickoff. That one, I've gone over to Kyle and I've just said, hey mate, look where you're passing, especially when you want to throw it 30 metres. Like, I know you want to throw the ball to me because I'm going to make that half break, but like, you got Brad Goodwin there too. He's just as good. Short ball, my friend, short ball.
I thought Jimmy had a hot and cold game.
One thing I love about Jimmy's work, he's just always there. Anytime a forward or anyone's making a break, he's always running up there in support. He kind of reminds me a bit of like...
got a try.
Oh, there you go.
It was good.
He kind of reminds me a bit of like Jake Friend. He's going to tackle everything he sees, but he's always supporting and he's always going to be there scheming, doing something. But
have to reference a Roosters player.
Mate. Fuck you. Um, and anyways, just one last thing on the Manly game. I've already spoke to my boys, and I'll say it out here now. That kick defense has got to be, it's got to be better. Whether it's in the bomb or like watching that kick return from our kicks, just get in front of
We're
them,
very
make that
poor
tackle.
there.
Yeah, just got to make that tackle. Thankfully, Dingo was back there, last ditch efforts. I think he made like 18 or 19 tackles or something like that at fullback. It's just like,
Had I think it was Jimmy ran down Collins as well.
yeah, Jimmy.
Collins had a good run. Collins
Yeah.
played good.
Honestly, I can't think of many bad plays in the game at all.
I can, me. Let's move on.
All right. All right, let's move on to our team of the week. I'll jot my fullback down, you jot your fullback down. We'll go like that in that order. That sound
Yep.
good, Kane? All right.
Sounds good.
I don't think you need to say yours. Dom Ponkston. Yeah,
Dom
agreed.
Bronxton.
First winger, Nahana. Broughton
Yeah,
Thompson.
Mr. MBT.
Other winger, Miko Rashford.
Rashford.
By the way, guys, we did not come up with these.
We
lists
did all
together.
this apart. We didn't do any of this together.
We both just got a brain above our shoulders, so we've made the smart choices. Our centres, or my centres, Josh Saddlecut, Cody Ogg.
The same.
Halves, and I hate to say it, Liam Ryan. He was
Liam
so good
Ryan.
for us. And I had Luke Thompson as the other half.
I also had Luke Thompson.
My middle forwards, I had Anthony McDonald. Honestly, just outstanding. And although he was in a badly beaten side, I have Lachlan Martin as my other prop. He was just everywhere. He wanted to put that team on his shoulders, tried his heart out. It just wasn't to be, but he's going to be one menace of a prop.
I had McDonald as well.
Yeah.
And I had Ryan Lawrence. I thought it was very good, very solid.
Honestly, I'd have to agree with that too. It's probably should make a 17, not a 13, eh?
I did suggest that.
Maybe next week. Anyways, then my back row consists of Milo Kerrigan. Can't not pick him. Pete Veretto was absolutely wonderful in that flogging of the Panthers. And then I have Chris Lord at the back.
I also had Milo Kerrigan. I had Pete Veretto, but I had Aaron O'Hare at lock.
Well, we're going to have to
Thought he
disagree on
was
that one.
great against us.
Don't
Thought
say
he had a
that.
solid game.
Kane, stop. Stop. We've
Well,
had
he
enough
was in a
talking
losing
about him.
team, and he was absolutely great.
Yeah. Anyways, for our fantasy team, this is based off their primary position. That's in the fantasy. If you're in it, you'll know what I'm talking about. Our best fullback, Dom Ponkston. Done. Winger centers, they're bunched in the same group, so I just have the top four scorers. Mika Rashford, Corey Bell, Nahana, Broughton Thompson, Maverick Oldfield. There's a common theme, there's a lot of Storm players. The halves were Sonny Tyre, Kieran Wells. Kieran Wells, he's our captain of the fantasy side because he scored the most out of anyone, scoring 212. That was crazy from him. Middle forwards, more Storm players. Luke Malkus and Daniel Punch. Daniel Punch scoring 93 coming off the bench. That's pretty damn solid. We got.
I bet that hurts you to say.
Listen, mate. We're not going to open that can of worms. I've moved on. He's moved on.
Continue.
Okay. We got Tim James at hooker. Who else? Then we got Kobe Johnston and Pete Veretto. And then, of course, at lock, we have Chris Lord. Honestly, if you had them in your side, props to you. I almost picked Ponston. I didn't. And I regret that decision. Let's move on. Okay. Time for our champ and chump. I don't think I have to ask you, but I think it's unanimous. Dom Ponkston for our champ, right? Yeah.
Dom Ponkston.
4 tries, 293 meters, 10 line breaks. Man was a menace. Man was on a mission.
At this point, what can the man not do? If he's going to play like that all season, just give him the SRL, give him the Logan Strange medal now. Give him everything.
Honestly,
Is he in New South Wales or Queensland?
I want to say New South Wales. That's what my heart says, right?
So he's at the Knights.
Please. You're gonna break my heart here, eh?
He's in New South Wales. We're in. Okay. Well, I look forward to seeing you next camp, Honks, at this rate.
I'm not gonna say that line.
If I get selected.
I would like to not be demonetized too hard. I'm not gonna say. Anyways, just absolute outstanding performance. We'll move on to Chump of the Week, which should be a fun one. Who's your Chump of the Week, Kane?
You already know, I fucking told ya. Sorry for swearing again, but it's fucking me. I thought I was absolutely atrocious. Missed tackles. Didn't do anything. My kicking was very poor, except for one. I nearly got a 40-20, and somehow Dixon stopped on a dime and stayed in and then just ran off. I was absolutely poor. I know I'm way better than that, so I couldn't think of anyone worse than me for the round, honestly.
See, I was gonna pick you as well, but I didn't want to beat a dead horse. Trying to think of somebody else. I couldn't decide between two, so I'm going to give you two. The first one, Jesse Bennett. Considering what we know he can do, against us he played 60 minutes almost. He had 9 runs for 63 metres, 2 missed tackles, only made 8. He was virtually a non-factor. Not even virtually, he literally was a non-factor. Which is kind of disappointing because I want to see him go good. I know what he can do. I know he will bounce back. But yeah, just... he's struggling at the new club, at least in the first game. Things might turn around against the Raiders. I hope so for him. The other player I will mention for my chump is Jack Carl. The stats don't show it. Like, he made good kick meters. I think he made over 100 run meters as well. Had a try assist. But it's the stuff that doesn't show on the stat sheet. He had a lot of shanked kicks. I think like 95% of the time they were in that red zone. The grubbers were going, hitting legs. It was never getting through the line. He seemed to struggle with the boot. I would half put that more to the Storm. Didn't give him time. So if he gets a bit more free air, his forwards give him a bit more space, I reckon he'll do a bit better. But yeah, he's going to have to work on that kicking license, maybe renew it. I probably shouldn't be talking. But anyways, I'm just a prop. After that, we've done the championship. I think it's time we move on to our previews of the next round. Oi? You there, Kane?
Yeah, I'm here.
Your mic's not working a bit there, mate.
What about now?
There you go. Alright, got some team list up. Our first game is the Storm versus the Eels. I'm just going to run down the team list quickly. So we got the Storm of Corey Bell at fullback. We got Nahana, Maverick Oldfield on the wings. Dylan Sharp, Sean Walker in the centres. Not too bad of a backline. Sam Herb and Will Kay in the halves. Malchus and Ryan Lawrence has earned a starting spot. Absolutely earned that. Sonny Tyre at hooker. Riley Murray at 11. Mainafai Afili at 12. And Terengi Haufe'u at 13. On the bench props are the Punch Bros, Ben and Daniel. We got Lecky Tour at 16, Blake Harris at 17. What do you think of that lineup?
I think it's a very solid lineup. I don't think you'd really change much in there, to be honest, or anything really. They just seem so well rounded. They've got the attack. They've got the defense. They've got their kicking. It just seems like they've recruited extremely well, and they've got the team set out perfect.
I couldn't agree more. I can't really add to that. So instead, sorry, my cat's just jumped on the table. Off you go, mate. Instead, I'll just read the Eels team list, see what we think of that. We've got Rika Manu again at fullback. We got Michael Krimp, Shannon Freebird on the wings. In the centres, we got Mendonca and Og. Halves pairing, Cherry Evans, Jordan Marshall. In the front row, we got Luke Short, the captain, and Anthony McDonald. Eddie Oliver at hooker. We've got Christian Mackay and Alistair Russell. I cannot speak. Give me a second. I'm having a drink, eh?
And Attila Sittenberg at 13. And then on the bench, we've got Justin Barsilic. Jordan Ford. I can never say his name. I'm sorry, Justin. Can never say it. Phoenix Murphy and Jason Farah.
It's not bad of a lineup. If you compare it to the Storm lineup, it looks a bit weak. I hate saying that because I don't want to ever talk bad on any team unless it's the Rabbits. But yeah, it's not looking good.
I like Crimp on the wing. I like Organ center. I think he's a solid center. Manu at fullback is great. Short forwards, yep. Eddie Oliver, great. Anthony, great. Honestly, I don't know. I've said it for a while. Cherry Evans isn't a half.
I'd have to agree.
I don't think he should be a half.
Look, I'm looking at this side on paper, and it looks strong, but where they really struggle in is those last play options. I love Cherry Evans. He's an original Manly boy, but his best position is centre. And he's one of the few centres I've seen consistently go good there, which doesn't happen often for the centre position. The only problem is I can't see who they would put in the halves for him if they wanted to move him back to centre. The only way you could do it is bring Rika Manu into the halves. I think he's a primary fullback.
You can't move Rika.
Me might be a left field option, but I'd probably go Cherry Evans to centre, Mendonca to the wing, Crimp to fullback, Manu to 6.
Yeah, that's an option.
Just run some scenes, see how that goes.
Yeah.
I love Cherry Evans, and I don't want to talk down on him, but just the halves isn't working.
He was in part of the original Manly group, and we loved him there. And sad that he left, but
wasn't he a top try scorer?
He was up there for a centre. He was up there. He was. I think he got centre of the year actually.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He was very good for us though. I know he scored quite a few tries, made a lot of breaks, great in defence. He made centres look like centres were going to do something.
Oh boy, did that age well.
Yep.
So yeah, what's your tip?
My tip for that game is, sorry Parramatta, but I've got Storm 13+.
Sorry Parramatta, I have to agree. Right, we will move on to the next game. This should be interesting. We got the Panthers and the Cowboys. I'll run through the Panthers list first. We got Nathan Fisher at fullback. We've got Morrison and Pute on the wings. We have Mansour and Mayava in the centres. We got Anthony Delaney, premiership winning player. Sione Mataus in the halves. We've got Ollie Parche and Lachlan Sinclair in the front row. We've got Blair Curtin in at 9. Back row is Logan Guys, Seamus Wilson, rounded off with Lennox Prakash at the back. On our bench, we've got Coda Diab, Callum Owen, Bailey Wilson, and O'Shea Ole. What do you think?
I've seen a lot of former Manly players there.
You're not wrong, eh?
I spoke about it earlier, but one change I definitely have is I'd swap Fisher and Morrison. Morrison needs to have a go at fullback. I think he'd be much better there.
I'd have to agree. I'd probably get Callum Irwin in the starting side.
Callum Irwin's a weapon.
I'd go Seamus 11, Irwin 12. Get the guys having a bit of punch off the bench.
Yeah, I think I'd agree with that one.
All right, let's move on to the Cowboys list, which I'm pretty sure is going to be straightforward, same as last week. Got Almatangi at fullback, Kelly and Maxwell on the wings, Cambolo and Columbus in the centres. We then got Moana, Wallace in the halves, Mobiston and Tapace in the front row. Kieran Wells at 9, Johnston and Hodgson in the back row with Chris Law, the captain, rounding off at 13. We then got Coven Walmsley, Casey Namina, Callum Murray and Anada Takuri on the bench. What do we think of that?
Is that the same size as last week?
I don't think we can go back, but I'm pretty sure it is.
It looks strong as always, to be honest. I actually wouldn't change anything about the team.
Sorry to just go left field here for a second, but
I could change Columbus.
My cat's currently eyeing off the cable for my headset, so just off you go, mate. That way.
You could have just muted and let me keep talking, but that was all good.
No, gotta mention him.
I think Johnny Columbus would be good on the wing. Maybe for Kelly.
I'd lean towards Cambolo.
Either of them, to be honest, they're both good.
Although I will say,
I'm surprised they're both still at Cowboys for a centre. Because I feel like a lot of clubs really value them as wingers.
It goes to show how
they got loyalty there.
Chris Lord runs that joint like a well-oiled machine.
It's another thing I gotta say. I miss Lordy. I miss him at Manly. He was prepared to build the whole team around him.
We were going to, eh?
Oh.
But honestly, he's moved on. He's won premierships, or a premiership away from us. He's doing good. He's won a Logan Strange medal in the forwards. You can't talk anything bad upon him.
Such a nice bloke too. Like if you actually sit and chat with him, he's got so much knowledge. And he's a good round bloke to chat to.
Like I feel like
I'd love to have Lordy on here at some point.
Honestly, 100%. I feel like he's just one of those guys where like those arseholes like actually hate him for it. Like he's just the perfect package.
Yeah, he's just too nice.
All right, enough. We got to get off it. You know, he's had his fun. What's your tip for this game?
I've gone the Cowboys 13+. I'm sorry, Panthers. I hate saying it's my old team, but sorry, boys.
Never should have left us in the first place. Anyways, yeah, I got Cowboys 13+ as well. What the Panthers threw up against the Knights last week was just
shit.
I don't want to treat the Mines like a lesser comp, but they are the reserve grade. It was like a reserve grade performance.
Honestly, I reckon quite a few of the Mines teams would have beat them.
Honestly, yeah. And they only have 15 players aside too, eh?
Yep.
Yeah, it wasn't it. There's plenty of room for improvement, and I'm sure they're going to come out against the Cowboys trying their heart out, but just the Cowboys, they're something else.
I hate to say it, because I genuinely like a lot of the Panthers players, especially Morrison. I've got all the time in the day for Morrison. Great guy, great to chat with, but the team just needs some work, mate.
Hear me out here. We just strip the captaincy off Morrison. Just bring him over to Manly. Everyone's happy.
Honestly, I'd do it, but in saying that, I wouldn't drop anyone from Manly unless they wanted to leave. We don't kick people out. It's up to them to leave.
The door's always open. We're not a dictatorship. But boy, I think Morrison would look good in some Manly colours.
I think a few players could look good in some Manly colours.
Yeah. Anyways.
Tim James, I'm looking at you, brother.
The next game is the Warriors Eagles, but we're going to save that one for last.
Yeah.
We'll move on to the Rabbitohs and the Raiders.
Rabbitohs. Oh yeah.
Oh, sorry to confuse it. The Grubs. um,
No, I got confused because on my sheet of paper here, the top of it says Manly Rabbits because I was looking at the wrong thing.
Kane,
Yeah, I
that
know.
piece of paper you need to burn right now.
I can't. It's got my notes and everything on it.
Once we're done, you burn it. You send me a
No,
video. You send me a video of you burning your notes.
I'll do it tomorrow. It's 4:40 in the morning right now. I'll do it tomorrow when I wake up.
You better. Anyways, Rabbits team list. We got Dixon at fullback. We got Clay and Moscow on the wings. Colin Sadokard in the centres. Halves pairing, as always, Liam Ryan, Josh Butterfield. We've got Mason Remy, Hayden Davis in the front row. Daniel Hellier at 9. We've got Richards and Kasako 11 and 12. O'Hare at the back at 13. On our bench, we got Luke Driscoll, Jesse Bennett, Harris Andrews, and Filippo Gould. What are your thoughts?
And it's on the bench again. He's not a bench player.
He's got to be year 11, hey?
I love Dustin Richards, but Bennett at 11, he's the best in the SRL.
Second to Milo now.
He's still the best
Yeah,
over Milo.
He's the best. Okay.
Like, I just don't get why Bennett's on the bench. Like, I'd like Liam Ryan to just DM me and just message me his reasoning, because I can't understand it. Bennett on the bench. Like, yeah, Dustin Richards, he's a solid player. Don't get me wrong, I rate Dustin Richards. Love him at Manly. But Jesse Bennett, like Dustin Richards, I'd throw him at 12. Because Dustin's got to be in there too.
There's Jamal.
And if Jamal Osako is great, but I think Dustin's his up-and-coming superstar, and Bennett, he is a superstar.
So I think after I was on the 360 podcast last season, had a little mothers meeting with Liam Ryan, just talking shop, and he asked me how to work around that, because obviously I know no team list, and like I said, like Bennett.
Oh, hang on, sorry. You take credit for so much shit that's both of our ideas. It's ridiculous. Continue.
He's lying.
It's not you. It's always Matt, the captain of Manly, best captain, has done all this, done all that. Motherfucker, I started the streak. I started the rebound of Manly in season 2 with 8 rookies in my team and won the premiership against Rabbits. And everyone seems to forget that because missed the back-to-back captain premiership. So you.
I mean, I don't see you going an entire season and final series undefeated to win the comp,
Yeah, well, guess who beat you last season in Panthers colours, bitch?
I don't see you holding up the premiership trophy in season 5.
Didn't make it to the premiership, that's why.
Exactly.
Just going to go ahead and say as well, I disagree with my benching in that season at the end of the season. You cost me doing better than Dingo, and Matt holds it against me every single day.
Dingo is the better fullback, hands down.
He overall is. He's the best fullback.
Fullback in season 5.
But he was only the best fullback over me in season 5. Well, out of me and Dingo, because I got benched because he's my captain didn't want me to get injured.
Okay, let's just close that can of worms.
You know what? Just fucking move on, mate.
That's exactly my point. Anyways, what I was saying with Liam Ryan, I said if Bennett's not at 11, he's got to be the 10. And at least playing 40 at 11. He can't not be there.
Who's that?
Who?
What?
What'd you say?
I said I couldn't agree more with that.
Oh, yeah, all I heard was that.
No, I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
He's going to be in the starting team regardless.
Alright, so I'm physically getting sick. We've talked about South Sydney's team for too long.
I'm not. I think it's a solid lineup. I think Dixon at the back is perfect. Their wings, perfect. Center's great. Their halves, honestly, Butterfield and Ryan, they're great together. Ryan's just phenomenal. I love Daniel Hellier. I love chatting to the bloke. Miss chatting to him through the chats and everything.
Oh,
I think they've got a
Clay
really
and
good
Butters
team.
were so good in our little Manly, what is it, watch parties.
Yeah, Butters was always a character I watch parties. I miss it.
Oh, I remember just Clay screaming when the ball wouldn't go his way off the kick returns.
Oh, when we used to all scream Velvet Thunder.
Velvet Thunder! Ah, too bad he's an alt. Anyways, the
Yeah.
Raiders team list. We got Eli Barnes at fullback, Demando Edwards on the wings. We got Josh King, Jason Lomu in the centres. We got Rohan Kowal, Luke Thompson in the halves, Aaron Leondis, Samuel Lillard in the front row. We got Timothy James at 9. We got Wally Allen at 11, Rahul Kowal at 12, and we got the captain Jordan Lewis at 13. On the bench, we got Matt Downey, Ben Arnold, Ruben Mobbs, and Charlie Rossini. What do we think?
Well, I I actually wouldn't change anything in that team.
Honestly, I
I
agree.
don't think I could. I think it's a solid team, very rounded. Barnesy at the back's always extremely scary. Lower center great. Marshall is a weapon. Luke Thompson up there for best half in the bloody game, off history, like off of all the stuff he's done. I think Leonidas strong. Tim James, best hooker in the game. Part of me doesn't want to say it. He's the best hooker in the game. There's not much. I wouldn't change anything. Solid team.
The only change I would do is I put Kawhi at 11.
But then who would you
Just swap Wally and
put
Kawhi.
six?
Put Wally at 12. I'm talking about the second rower, mate. Just swapping the 11 and 12.
Fucking brothers.
Egypt! Egypt! No.
I went straight in the half.
Hey, mate, I mixed them both up before.
I'd also, in that case, yes, I'd swap Wally and Rahul.
What do you think the result's going to be?
I reckon it's actually gonna be close. I reckon 1-6.
Either way or a particular side?
It's gonna go Raiders. We'll go Raiders. 1-6.
See, as much as I hate them, I think the Rabbits bounce back. They've shown a lot of good signs against us. Rabbits 1-6.
I'm going Raiders. They were the start and end of our winning streak.
Don't you bloody talk like that. Blasphemy, I goddamn tell ya. Fucking cunt.
They're a consistent side against the top teams, and whenever Manly's been a top team, they've knocked us off our fucking pedestal.
I don't remember when we weren't.
Season 1, we didn't make finals.
Shut up.
Might I add, neither of us were captain. Sorry, Dingo.
Yeah, yeah, Dingo's track record as a captain.
It's not good, is it? And then he left us high and dry, but he made me captain. And then we smacked him in the grand final.
Yes, we did.
Sorry, Dingo. Bring up bad memories for you.
He's totally going to call me or call us.
He's going to message me something, for sure.
Anyways,
Yep.
Let's move on to the most important game of the round. Probably not actually to some people. We got the Auckland Warriors against the Manly Sea Eagles. Starting off with the Warriors team list, we got Chance Bunce at fullback. On the wings, we got Simons and Marcus Square. In the centres, we got Awatare, Aaron White. I probably butchered that name. Aratare, not White. In the halves, we've got Snow and Corcoran. In the props, we have John Nanai, Daniel Engo. At hooker, we got Jai McCartney. In our back row, we got Sneeko Bro, more like a sis. And we got David Barner at 12. Got Liam Rogers at 13. And rounding off the bench, we have Rex Slattery, Daniel Keat, Igor Maikazi, and Jaden White. Thoughts on this side?
There's probably a few things you could move around with this side. Don't know where to start really though, but I like obviously Bunsey fullback, Isaac great. I think Marcus is a solid player. I think he's going to be a star in the making. Nanai good, McCartney great. Sneeko starting. I don't know about Sneeko starting.
He's got some dirt on someone.
Seems like it. What's he got on you, Bunsey? Reveal the tapes. But I don't know about. I think Sneeko's more of an impact player. Sneeko, I think personally, Sneeko is more of an impact player, if an impact player at that. But
half of an impact player. You stand him on top of Igor, and he's probably my height, maybe.
I don't want to say too much because he is known to throw a shot in here and there in a game.
Yeah, it's because you don't see him coming because, like, you know, you're peripheral. You can't see that far down.
And all I'm gonna say is if I'm a 5'8" or halfback at some point, he might come headhunting for me.
Well, it's going to be a pretty high reach.
Still, he shot me in half. But yeah, there's probably a couple things you could change here. What about you?
I actually already said that to Chance Bunt himself. I said it in the podcast before. You'd have Snow White in the halves. I won't repeat the joke. You can scroll back for that. I'd then have Liam Rogers at 11 with Corcoran at 13. Corcoran, without a doubt, is the best 13 you guys got.
I agree there.
And yeah, just Rogers. He's got that Milo build, that Bennett build. Like, he's just going to eat the meters at 11. He's just going to
stop referring everything to Manly players.
I have to. I'm their captain, but I'm also like their spokesperson, okay? I'm captain, coach, spokesperson, and like the big old prop. But yeah, just Rogers at 11, I think, is the way to go. Corcoran at 13. Probably have Sneeko and Keat coming off the bench at prop. Just
a big fella, isn't he? He's a big boy.
If not Sneeko, have Slattery and Keat. You can't not have Keat because he's a man mountain.
Huge.
But yeah, we're gonna move on to the Manly team list, which I wish you could play the wing.
Stuff. Yep, no longer a winger, mate. I'm actually regretting it.
Yeah, you're just.
I never wanted to be a centre.
I
wish I could have changed my centre.
Normally, there's the brains and the brawns of the organisation, but I'm both. I'm the brains and the brawns because clearly you don't have brains.
Hey, mate, I do everything behind the scenes. You just do all the face stuff.
Mate.
That's why you're the face.
Behind the scenes is over at Panthers, mate. Go back there. Nah. Anyways, I love you, Cat.
Find your own recruits,
bro. I had to.
Yeah, you had to for a season. Every other season's me,
mate. No. Anyways, Chaz Dingo, of course, is our fullback. We got Ethan Goodwin debuting on the wing. Never played there before. I reckon he's going to go good. We got Ben O'Donnell, safe as nails. Don't think that's a term or anything, but let's just go with it.
And then do your summary at the end.
We got Tyler Weston and Kane Chapman Kenny rounding off the centres. We have Isaac Edwards, Kyle Lewis in the halves. We got myself, the captain, at 8. Brad Goodwin at 10. Jimmy Ralph is our 9, of course. We then have Milo at 11, Hayden Mellor at 12, and Jordan Williams at 13. On our bench, we have Creed, Nick, Lachlan Holmes, and making his Manly debut, his SRL debut, is Rex Buckingham. Congratulations, bro. You've earned
Congratulations, Rex.
You've been training your ass off. Get in there, rip in, get it done. I know you're going to be able to. You've been so good, mate. What do you think of our team list?
Well,
considering you already helped make it, so.
There's not much I can say, because, yeah, I helped make the damn thing.
All those Sims.
So, obviously, I'm going to think it's a solid side, because I think it's our best side. Minus one player.
We'd be better with you not in the centres.
I'd be better on the wing, but O'Donnell's been killer on the wing. Tyler's been good on the wing. Goodwin could be amazing on the wing. But I will say we will be losing somebody in this team, and hopefully replacing him with somebody much better.
Are we talking about
Talking about Mr. Lachlan Holmes.
Sorry, who was it? Holmes.
Just gonna let you know, you said that so loud you cut out.
You know what? That's fine with me. What's your tip for the game?
You see, no matter what, it's always gonna sound biased if I tip Manly. And it's gonna sound wrong if I tip against them being the VC. But I've got Manly 1-6.
See, I hate tipping on my own games. I've gone Manly 1-6 too, because I am a humble man. Honestly, could go either way. Most people, I get it. They think we're going to have a field day, considering how the Cowboys played against them.
Probably think we're going to have a field day. No. Where a lot of the time, me and you are stressing.
Yep. Like, a perfect example is the last time we played them. I think it was like round 2 or 3 last season. We're up 18-0 after 14 minutes, and then we win 24-18. An absolute arse clencher of a game that was. And very frustrating. There was a lot of swear words.
Yeah, see, I wouldn't know. Wasn't a part of the squad last season for you. I actually can't even remember how I did against them. I cannot recall.
Yous were their first win.
There you go. Oh, looks like an old one, yeah?
Please, do as much as you can at centre. Go get your 40 metres.
You know what? I just might. Otherwise, I'm probably going to be chump of the week next week again.
Mate, if you're even in the running for chump of the week next week, you're starting off the bench.
Probably. Yeah, I agree. I heard rumours that there's a rift at the Broncos. Could always just offer them myself.
Honestly, that'd probably work out for us, because at least we can play Kelly on the wing.
I wasn't going to say who.
That's why I said we all know. We all know. Let's be real.
We're not a drama thing here, so we just try to, you know.
Hey, Jack, you know my number. Just call me. I have a perfectly good lock primary playing off the bench.
Not touching my son.
That sounded so bad, eh?
I don't care.
got a perfectly good lock on the bench. His name's Creed Alex Chaptain, former Bronco boy. I reckon he'll see as well.
I'll message them. Like, not I'll message Creed's mum, and I swear to God. Oh, well, I say that, but she won't listen to me.
There you go.
She's more likely to leave and just despite me like last time.
Okay. See that dirty laundry? You want to leave it in your house. Put it in the washing machine. Let it go. Spin it out of your system, because this is footy, not your love life.
My love life ain't with her. That's for damn sure. Now let's move on.
Shut the fuck up. See, the problem is that's almost the end, eh? But
it is.
We do have our We have our Q&A. We have our Q&A.
Also, don't be afraid to message Matthew with your Q&A things if anything pops up in your head that you want to know. Like, we will be only taking serious ones.
Messaging me with questions.
Yes, with questions.
Yeah, Q&A things. Nice.
Well, you know what? You just ramble sometimes. Make sure you send him a message with your question. If it's a serious question, we'll actually answer it. Yeah.
I will note that if I do deem it funny enough, or I can make a joke out of it, I might answer the funny ones.
I might just stay quiet.
Yeah. Okay. These aren't going to be anonymous. I probably should have given that disclaimer, but that's why I was only accepting serious questions, because there's no harm. Anyway, so our first question, which is a free-parter, is from resident Phil Rothfield. I can't say his name.
Why
Blake
didn't you look
Harris.
this guy up to make sure who it was?
It's Blake Harris.
Well, why don't you just say Blake Harris?
Because he's our resident Phil Rothfield. He's our news guy. Um, he says, who do you think will win the minor premiership, the Spoon, and who will exceed expectations the most?
You said that a lot nicer than I did. I put down Prem, Spoon, and Shit Club to go good.
Jesus, mate. I know I said we're not going to
Honestly.
be professional and all, but like have some class.
Honesty's the best part. Hey, I wrote a Shit Club to go good. It just means they could have played bad in a game or two, or had a bad season, and I expect them to go good.
Okay, let's move on. Anyway, so minor premiership, I have to say us. I always got faith in the boys. I'm going to say us, but excluding my own side, I can't go past the Storm. If not the Storm, maybe the Broncos.
I hate your guts. Why do you have to say this? That's like me saying the Rabbits for you.
Yeah.
You said Storm. Now I want to say Rabbits to spite you.
No, but you won't, because you probably have Storm too.
No, I don't. I couldn't bring myself to saying Storm.
But if you could?
No. I wrote Manly, and if I can't pick Manly, I pick the Cowboys. I got faith in Lordy.
That's a cop-out.
I got Lordy. I got Lordy and his boys. I reckon, and I could actually say two. It could have been Cowboys, it could have been Raiders. It was a toss-up, to be honest.
Not even the Broncos?
After their first game, fuck no.
Maybe after their first game, but they were versing the better team.
It's so early on to answer this question. It's hard. But so I'm going off like previous seasons and stuff like that. And round one.
On paper alone, Broncos should be doing really good.
On paper alone, Broncos should have had the biggest winning.
Anyways, we'll move on to the Spoon. I hate talking about the Spoon, you know? Like, I never want to get the Spoon.
I don't want to get it, and you never want to
if I'm
wish
gonna
it
have
upon
soup,
somebody.
If I'm going to have soup, I'm just going to sip it from the bowl itself because I don't want a spoon to eat it with.
I'll just use a fork.
Yeah, and you're not going to have the soup. You're just going to have, like, the potatoes and stuff.
Yeah, you just got some noodles in there.
Think, Kane. Jesus. No,
noodles in my soup.
Anyway, so I hate to say it, but it's a freeway race. Sadly, between the Eels, the Panthers, and Warriors. And I said the Warriors, and watch. Tuesday night, they're going to come up and probably beat us, and then, I'm going to be eating a bloody whole big bloody humble pie.
With a friggin' nothing. Tell you what, first of all, I put two teams down. But I didn't even want to put one team down, and you've just batted out three teams.
It's because there's
the audacity to do that.
Okay, the Lion and the Witch are here, and the audacity of this bitch, the audacity of this bitch has just been done. Yeah, the reason why I said free is so I didn't just directly attack one side. Everyone can cop these hands, you know.
Oh, it's gonna come back to bite you in the ass. So, what were the three? Warriors?
Warriors, Eels, Panthers.
I went Eels and Panthers. I hate saying that against my former club, but...
let's just pretend...
I will say
Warriors
this,
weren't part of that list.
Well, moving on for that. Yeah.
We won't talk too much into that, just a quick one, because we don't want to talk bad on other sides unless they're the Rabbitohs. Shit, I should have said Rabbitohs.
Oh.
Anyways, so the last part of that question is who will exceed expectations the most? See, in my head, before the round started, I had the Knights as the big improvers. Their game against the Panthers basically proved that point. So I'm going to stick with the Knights. They're going to continue to go good. And honestly, they might finish in the top 5.
See, this contradicts my last question, my answer. I have Knights and Eels.
So you have Eels in your Spoon contenders. but also as
And
your big improvers.
I have them. I think that, I think they're going to get the spoon. But judging by their round one, I think they can go good. I think there's a chance for them to push up. Knights, judging by their round one, pushing up. So, Eels, yes, I think you're going to struggle and probably get the spoon. Same with Panthers. But after watching round one, I can see there's something in there. They stuck in it the whole game. And Knights had just blew the other team off the fucking park. So I can see both of these clubs moving up.
Think of the children.
I can just see that. I can just see the Eels proving me wrong, which I'm happy for. Same with Knights. I never tipped you to be low. I actually thought you signed quite well, but you look like you have got the shit this season.
See, I don't want anyone to get the spoon. Like, the spoon's an awful thing, but if we're gonna give anyone the spoon, give it to Souths.
Give it to Storm. Let them drop out of the comp after one season again.
Thankfully for the Storm, they existed in season 1, so we weren't even a chance for it.
Well, our first win was against Storm, I think.
Yes.
In season 1.
It was either Storm or Cowboys. They were our only 2 wins.
All I know is my first try was against Storm, I think, and then my second was Broncos.
My first try was in my debut game, round 3, against the Warriors. First touch of the ball.
I know, you don't ever shut up about it.
100%.
I haven't done much to...
Anyway, his next question is from Kevin Dixon. This one's a two-parter. We got, who do you think is the all-time GOAT in the SRL, and who will take out the premiership other than Manly? Thank you for saying other than Manly, because now we don't have to say Manly. So my tip for the premiership is Manly.
Shut up.
Nah, in all honesty, if it's not us, it's hard to pick, but I can't go past the Storm. Got them as minors. If it's not us, got them as premiers. If it's not us.
Yep. See, I also went with... I wrote Manly, but kind of Manly, obviously. I have Cowboys.
Fair enough. I personally don't I don't want Chris Lord to win another premiership at lock. I got 2, he's got 2. Let's stay even. The other part of that question, which is a question I'd love to answer, the all-time GOAT. I'm going to split this into 2.
I'm going to split it into 3.
Right. Purely on the field, it has to go to Chaz Dingo. I know he's a Manly boy, but he's been in the top 5 plays every single season he's been in, which is every season. He's in the top 5 fullbacks as well. He's just a winner.
There's only one thing he hasn't done.
Don't say it. Do not say it.
It hurts, but he's yet to win an Origin.
Okay. You know, just so we can make it.
Just to be clear, Matthew, that hurts me and you too. We've done almost everything.
And
There's a few things we haven't done. And Origin's one of them.
I'm gonna make myself feel better, and say that there's one other thing he can't do, and that's beat Manly in a grand final. Does that make you feel
rude.
Does that make you feel
better?
No,
it's rude. That's rude.
It's rude, but does it make you feel better?
No, because I look at Chaz as my mentor. I have since season 1, and he took me under his wing in season 1, and I became the next captain, and then so forth with you. So to me, I cannot talk bad ever about Chaz, and I'm not even going to throw that at him.
You say that, but off the air, we're having a bit of a laugh. Anyway, so yeah, it'd have to be Chaz Dingo. But overall, like for the community itself, you can't go past Logan Strange. He created the SRL at the end of the day. Just behind him, I'd have Lachlan Martin, because if it wasn't for him, you know, when Logan left, there was no one to pick up the slack. I'd also give special mentions to Will Kay, Jack Carl, Ollie Parche, everyone involved in the behind the scenes stuff with the SRL. You guys just bloody. If it
Just
weren't
keep
for
everything
you,
running. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't be here.
exactly. The commentators, every single commentator, just honestly, I remember watching the first game when I first came in. I was kind of bored because there was no commentary. I'm just like, oh, this is just a simulation. But then
I hated it.
once we got commentary in, I was just like, this is actually sick. It feels unique.
It was great. And might I add, sorry to any commentators out there, my favourite commentator was always Logan. I loved his thick New Zealand accent.
It's not
Just have to put it out there.
what I thought you were going to say at all after Fick. But anyways.
Oh, don't get me there. Don't go there, trust me.
There might be children watching this program. Stop.
Brought it up.
But yeah, so that's who I'd go with for the goats.
See, I've got obviously Dingo, but I've also got you down. You're a 3-time premiership winning player. You're a 2-time premiership winning captain.
Go on.
You're a lock of the year.
I wasn't lock of the year. Oh, I was. Yeah, I was. Yeah.
And I think you're a prop. Well, close to prop of the year.
I will be.
So there's not much you haven't done as well. But like Dingo, you haven't won an Origin. You've represented your country in one.
I've represented the country in one.
That's what I just said. You have represented the country in one.
Yeah, I thought you said there's not much you haven't done. Mentioned the Blues and then mentioned that, so I thought you were saying
no. I said you have played for your country and won. You have won premierships. You've won more, obviously. You've captained more.
Don't you? Couldn't forget it.
You had the longest. Well, we had the longest winning streak in SRL history. We've had the biggest. I think the biggest winning margin in SRL history.
Kane, I finished. You don't have to do it no longer. It's fine.
But if you go through the history books also, we also have the lowest scoring match, which we lost to Panthers, which is a little stain on our history right there.
Hey, we also have you don't, but I do, the highest scoring match with a win. That was in their finals last season against the Broncos.
So that's my reasoning for considering you in there as well. But I've also got like Logan as well, so he's the creator of all of this.
Same reasons I just spat out.
Same reason. And then also I will add on, I didn't have it written down, but I will add on like everyone you said who's behind the scenes, from the commentators to the new commissioner, it wouldn't be going on without yous. And I'd like to add in, like, even for those who do the entertainment part, like, say, Blake Harris with his journalism, and all our past journalists who have done stuff, and even the original SRL boys, like Liam and all that. If it wasn't for you,
mention to Jack O'Neill.
Jack O'Neill's podcast was amazing.
Like, I think I was on half of those episodes, and honestly, like, it was so good. Like,
it was good. I will admit, his was very good, but I ain't taken nothing away from SRL 360. I watched every single episode from start to finish. I was on a one or two of them, I believe. I know I was on one. It could have been two. But all the entertainment that makes this SRL very unique and enjoyable, like, they have to be all considered goats. From commentators to the minds to the creators, to everything. To Will Kay for doing all the mind stuff, for doing the jerseys, creating players, everyone involved. This needs to be considered. But that's for the off-field stuff. But on-field, it'd have to go to Dingo Harris.
Yeah.
I don't like saying it because you're a cocky prick, but it has to.
I pretend to be cocky because it pisses you off.
No, you're a cocky prick.
No.
And you will clarify that once we end.
Jeez, Rick. Yeah, honestly, okay. I'll just finish that off by saying, like, yeah, you boys, you make the magic real. Keep doing what you're doing. we've just joined in on the action, just having our little fun. But yeah, we'll move on to the next question, which I believe is our last question, and it's one I'm actually really looking forward to answering. It's from Cyrus Marks. Any tips to new players wanting to make it up the ranks, getting into like a leadership role? Honestly, mate,
Just copy Chris Lord.
or Dom Pongston.
Dom Honk. I reckon Chris Lord's the perfect one to copy, pretty much. He joined Manly. I recruited him into Manly back in season 2. And he just was very active in the chats, from the SRL chat to the private Manly chat. Just always asks about things to get more knowledge, what he needs to work on and things, and showed interest in picking up extra duties into the club with anything he could. Like, if anything popped up that we might need help with, we knew, Chris said he'd happily help with some stuff if we needed it, which he did. We'd message him, he'd happily do it, blah, blah. And he got an offer to be the Cowboys captain. Obviously, out of respect, him and the old commissioner messaged me saying, because he wanted to go do the captaincy. I could have said no because he had an illegal obligation at Manly to be because he was contracted.
He messaged
me,
not you.
He also messaged me.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, I had the message too. Because I was the captain at the time. It hadn't handed over to season 3, and I renewed his contract.
Yeah, okay, fair.
So they actually came to me for the actual answer. And at Manly, we don't keep players if they want to leave. And it was hard, but obviously we let Chris go because he was already in our leadership group, and he would have been the perfect man for the job to bring the Eagles back from where they were, the Cowboys back from where they were, and he's done a terrific job.
He would be the perfect man to do that too.
He smashed it over there, and just pretty much get involved with your club. Chat to your captains, your vice captains. Don't overdo it, because it can be a bit daunting and stuff like that.
You want me to just give a simple answer? Simple answer. Be active in the chats. Upgrade consistently. Don't upgrade stupid stuff. Toe poke's a meme. Leave it as a meme.
If you do toe pokes, it'll be the first time I kick a person out of the club.
So I'll upgrade my toe poke just so I can kick you a little harder out of the club.
I'll do my attacking kicking because I'm going to attack the shit out of you.
Okay, calm down now. But the biggest one, and I can't stress this enough because we've had a lot of it recently, stay out of the drama. Don't cause the drama. Yeah. Just be a good bloke. We're all here to have a good time. Don't go talking shit, like proper shit. Like, banter is fine, but when you're like attacking people, actually having a go at them, that's where we draw the line.
Don't get me wrong, I've been a part of my fair share of drama with individuals.
I've had to backhand Kane a couple of times for that.
And Matt's had to physically actually do it to me, which is very frightening when a 7-foot giant is coming at you.
For legal reasons, I will deny that.
But I can happily say, with everyone I've had drama with, we're chill. We're good now. And a lot of that's just been learning on my part and just avoiding the drama. I can think of one guy I'd like to start drama with, but I'm not getting into that and I won't do it.
He's going to wait until after the stream to tell me off.
Pretty much.
No, but yeah, straight up just... simple answer is just be a good bloke.
Be one of the boys.
Be one of the boys. Be a good bloke, and you'll be alive.
If you're old enough, just sit back and have a beer. Let your worries go away. And if you're under the age to drink, still sit back and grab a beer.
Have a grape soda.
Chill. Oh man, I'd be grabbing a beer regardless of what age I was.
We are Australian after all. Now,
Drinking cells 6, dude.
I will add, like, Chris Lord was a perfect example. It goes
Oh,
to
yeah.
show to his character that, you know, Logan Strange, the original commissioner, messaged him to say, hey, can you come to this different club who you haven't played for before and immediately become the captain, which doesn't happen. You normally have to, like, be in the club for a
Go
bit,
through the ranks.
go through the ranks. And he's come in and look how the Cowboys are going.
You turn them around. They were a bottom. They were a bottom team. You'd look at the Cowboys back then and be like, "Oh, easy getting, boys. Want a couple of drinks before the game?" Now you're trading as hard as you can.
The thing is, even if they were still a bottom four side, I'd still say he's one of the best captains, just because the team morale, from what I can tell, they're like
Very
brothers.
loyal and good there. They're like very close,
Absolutely.
but in a good way. Because it reminds me of
Us.
the Warriors mostly. Warriors are loyal to a fault, to the point where they keep players when they definitely shouldn't.
We like, well, that's like us as well, because like every player we've ever let go has been either cap or they've wanted to go.
Yeah. Or in some cases, very few, we've had a drama or two with the player.
We won't go into that. We would just
But,
remember the premierships.
or they've gone inactive.
Oh yeah, inactives are a bit.
Like currently now we have 2.
Yeah. Well,
because we got rid of one.
Now too. Don't know if it has been announced yet in the SRL server, but it has. Like, I have messaged Lachlan about it. It's all confirmed. Welcome to the club, Lightning McQueen. Just signed a dev contract with us to, you know, make the side proper. With Rex moving in, Cameron King moving out of the squad completely. Congratulations, Lightning. Welcome to the team. Let's get into it.
Hopefully by next week, we'll have the other 2 players announced.
I messaged the Minds chat before, but I'll say it again to any Minds player listening. If you would like to sign a dev deal, talk to me. If you would like...
One of the primary clubs of the SRL.
It's free real estate.
We got 2 spots available.
We have one dev spot available, and we have one bench spot available. So if you want to go straight into the SRL, you got a spot.
You want a ring? Come to daddy.
Shut up, Mom.
We will be, obviously we will have a look at statistics with you, and I should say I will. I'm the recruitment guy, so
you'll have.
I'll end up checking you out and watching your games and everything like that.
Anyways, on that note, I think we need to wrap things up.
Sounds good to me.
Honestly, thanks for listening, guys. This was fun.
It wasn't too bad. It was actually quite enjoyable once we were going. I'm not going to lie to you. Me especially, was shitting myself starting this beforehand. But yeah, it's been quite good once I got going. I wanted to smoke, I wanted to drink, I was like, I need something. But you know what, it's been good, and I'd like to say thank you to everyone that does tune in. Please leave a like, and if you have any messages, you know, just shoot us a message.
Anyways, take care. We'll see you at the same time next week. Hopefully.